Hello, my friends. I have no idea if I have the stuff of a vlog or not, but I thought I'd at least check in because I've had people reach out to me wondering, am I okay? I'm perfectly fine. Those of you who are connected to me elsewhere outside of YouTube, for instance, my Facebook friends and those I have been part of other groups with, and I think I'm a little bit crooked, so let me straighten me out. You know I've been absent from most things online. I guess it's going to continue that way for a while. This has not been planned. This is simply life and how it's happening at the moment. I have been just called to a lot of internal things, a lot of me things. And she straightens her hair out for the camera and for you. And I'm standing up. I have been outside. More than anything else, I have been outside. I have been walking. I have been visiting neighbors. I have been saying goodbye to the ocean before the tourists come back. I have been, oh, not goodbye like I won't see it again, but goodbye like I won't see you this way again until September. It's a bittersweet kind of thing. But I'm welcoming the energy of the returning tourists. I'm welcoming the energy of our returning neighbors as our neighborhood gets all lively and active again. Pray for me this weekend, if you would please. Raise a prayer to the goddess that I am a compassionate being and community member. Memorial Day weekend kicks off summertime. Just about everybody who has a home here will be here this weekend. And it will be very different. Maybe I'll have the opportunity to take the camera around for a bit for you. I remember those 3-day weekends from my working years. And I keep looking at this and I will get this so it's not crooked. Next thing you know, the camera will fall down. I think that's better. 3-day weekends when I was working. When I got them. I didn't always get them because of the nature of the work I did and the hours I had to work. But 3 days off of work to relax and throw care, concerns and stresses, that kind of care to the wind. Yeah, I remember what it was like. I live that all the time now. But let's just say our quiet, dear, sweet little world becomes party central on holiday weekends here at the beach in the summer. Totally different experience of living here. Noisy until all hours of the morning and folks drinking and having a good time. But you know, all here, all within the safe confines of their own home, nobody getting in a car and going anyplace. And it's kind of like one of the things I had to get used to about living here. Oh, not that I'm a prude about drinking, I just don't happen to do it myself to excess. But the absolute joy, the freedom, the getting to play for the weekend or the 3-day weekend or the vacation. That's the energy that fills this place. And this weekend being a holiday weekend that starts the summertime, there will be activities all weekend long. We'll be involved in a lot of them because we're on our homeowners association, including one, my friends, which is a mystery to me. And that is the hot dog sale. Okay. Doesn't sound odd to have a hot dog sale on a holiday weekend here in America, does it? We do love our hot dogs. However, this is at 9 o'clock in the morning. A mystery to me why folks want to eat hot dogs at 9 o'clock in the morning. Even as we're selling them, as we're making them and selling them, the smell of them kind of does me in. It's a good thing, though. It's a good thing. I have been working on editing Season of the Seeker for publication. Coming to a bit of peace at terms with the fact that I'm not going to enjoy that part of the process, but I will be so proud of myself for getting there when it's done. I have been working on some other writing projects which aren't meant to become public, at least not at this point. And I've been working on Season of the Dedicant, and I have been cross-stitching, and I have been doing house things. A lot of things centered around food and the kitchen. Yeah, I do want to update you about that. Remember I told you when I joined Weight Watchers I wasn't going to be the kind of person who tooted their poundage? Well, I do want to toot the milestone pounds. It's only been 3 weeks that I've been on the program. We absolutely love it. Roger has become enthused and is happily participating. So I do believe he's doing as well as I am, although we don't track him. We just make an assumption he's doing well. I have said goodbye to my first 10 pounds. Indeed I have. And it is amazing how much better I feel. Really, considering the multiples of 10 pounds I need to lose to get to a healthy weight, it is fascinating that I feel so much better, a bit over 10 pounds into the journey. Oh, I think in great part it has to be because the current Weight Watchers program is based on protein and non-starch vegetables and fruit. And therefore, things white, which I've always known, are not good for me. They cause me inflammation, holding of fluid, joint muscle pain. Some of that because of some of the challenges I have with lupus. Some of it because that stuff's just not really all that good for as much as we love it. So I think it's as much the change in what we're eating. Maybe not as much as the actual poundage yet, but I can walk longer and stronger. I have substantially less pain. I haven't had a migraine in 3 weeks, except for one which was seasonal, when the pine pollen was at its worst. It's almost past now. Almost past. It'll get to the point shortly that we won't be able to draw on our cars in the pollen dust. That time of year will have passed. Indeed, this weekend, the swimming pool here in our community opens. Can't imagine anybody going into it. We have not had, in fact, we've had 20 degree below average temperatures here for the last couple of weeks. So imagine how cold the water in the pool is going to be, even though it's going to be summertime, almost, temperatures here. So I feel lighter and brighter. Encouraged by saying farewell to the first 10 pounds. I don't think at this point, if I get to my next goal, because I set myself small goals along the way, the first 10 pounds was one. That is why I am happy to talk about it. The sweetest little car just drove by. One of those little tiny Renaults. I guess somebody's visiting somebody in our neighborhood. It caught my eye because it's not a neighborhood car. It's a cute little thing. Anyway. Yeah, when I record, I'm looking out the windows in front of me and I can get easily distracted. So this whole experience of the last 3 weeks, you can probably tell it in my face, I'm not as puffy. I'm actually getting a little bit of a shape here. I look in the mirror every day and see a little more jiggle here as that loosens up. I think I'm just going to have to accept that. But how I feel, I really have to, and this is not a paid endorsement, but it is a most definite endorsement. I really have to give credit to the Weight Watcher program as it is currently designed, especially if you have the fortitude not to buy Weight Watchers products, because one of the reasons I think I am feeling so good is no commercial or packaged food or part of our diet at this point, nor will they be again. But if you don't fall for the things they try and sell you, but you instead believe in the premise of the program and really take the most from your meetings with others who are going through something similar. I have a great group of members that are part of the weekly check-in group I go to. There's about 50 people. It's a big Weight Watchers group. There's not many where we live, like 3 in the entire southern half of the state, so I think each one has a lot of people in it. and the support and the suggestions and the sense of humor. And if anyone dares whine, other than presenting a challenge they had during the week they're looking for advice on, but if anyone dares like, oh poor me, which I could do the oh poor me thing to this moment because I miss my cheese so much. I'm cheeseless. I'm cheeseless in Delaware and it's terrible, it's terrible. But if I had that attitude in the meeting, basically, my beloved co-Weight Watchers would say, pull up your big girl panties, girl. We do not want to hear your complaints. There are more important things in life to complain about. And that's, I think, the thing I wanted to share that has been my biggest enlightenment. The only other time I've ever tried this kind of focus on losing weight in my life was when I was in my 20s, and it was Weight Watchers. Yeah, the old school Weight Watchers, a long time ago. And Jean Nidich was still alive, I guess then, really old school Weight Watchers. And then I was doing it for an idea of what I wanted to look like, of what size I wanted to get into, of I don't know if I was so much at that moment aware I was trying to match a societal norm for the female body, but I had this idea of what I wanted to be, and I think it was probably not realistic considering the bone structure and the shape and size that the goddess gave me, but it was all about feeling good about myself, but in a way, feeling good about myself in the presentation I made to the world. And that was good enough in my 20s, because even though I was heavy, I was hale and hearty, and I hiked the entire Appalachian Trail during that decade. So I was in no way slowed down or challenged by the extra poundage. And I find that there is such glory in celebrating losing weight at this point in life, when the truth is, every pound you put on impacts your body. I've been carrying this around for 62 years. And my bones weren't really made to carry this kind of weight, nor my muscles. So every pound that you lose, you immediately feel different. Not so much to look different, although I'm surprised when I look in the mirror how different I look after just this much weight. But I feel drastically different. My health has already improved by leaps and bounds. That is much more encouraging, much more of a this is why you're doing this, which allows you to make this a permanent shift in your relationship to food, than just wanting to look a certain way was in my 20s, because I felt perfectly fine. I was limited in no way. So one of the big eye-openers to me has been this beautiful body that Goddess gave me that has carried me so well through life. Oh, it's survived a lot that's been thrown at it. A couple of bouts with cancer and some other really serious things that have happened along the way. But it always did me well. I always felt strong, hale and hearty, and vital and vibrant. And I don't think I realized exactly how much I've been losing that. I'll say over the past decade or so, maybe from when I turned 50 on. I don't mean that when I turned 50 I started snarfing up all the food I could get my face into and gaining weight. No, I didn't gain weight. But the weight I was carrying became different. It started becoming a burden. And while I might not have acknowledged that it was a burden, even over 10 pounds lost, not hit my 20 pounds yet, we're talking over 10 but under 20, the burden is less, literally. I'm lighter in ways that count, that maybe don't have anything to do with that specific poundage. That's what I wanted to share, is that the understanding of strength and health and, in a way, the aging body and the favor I'm doing it to lessen its burden. That's about it for Check-In with Weight Watchers. No problems at all. Keeping to the program, I don't feel deprived in any way. We still go out to dinner regularly. I make good choices or the scale wouldn't show. And this kind of weight loss, if it were making the wrong choices. I have given up things like bread and have starches once a week or so, potato or pasta or something, but we're talking a quarter cup, half a cup max, a whole different relationship with food. There was a lady in our meeting this week that had come back from a cruise, and she only gained 0.2 pounds. So it didn't even go up a half a pound. And our question was, how the heck did you do that? She said, I ate everything I wanted to, but in the tiniest portions that gave me a taste that satisfied me. It's kind of what's been happening to me. When she said that, I realized, oh, that's what I'm doing. It's been really good. I've stopped drinking any alcohol at all, because when you're only willing to put a certain number of calories or points, or however you want to look at it, in a day's time into your body, you look at what's empty and what brings you a blessing. Offerings of the land, and since we do eat meat here, the animals have given their life. Offerings, blessings to the body. At this point, empty calories just aren't fitting that for me. Oh, I'm not saying that occasionally I might not have the desire for a glass of wine, but it's going to be something that's a treat and done with a lot of enjoyment and pleasure, and not so much, oh, I'm out with the girls tonight, so I'll just have a glass of wine. It's a different relationship to food. It's amazing the switch that somehow flipped on. Okay, enough about the food stuff. There are some of you who are watching this video who are very interested in that, and there are some who are like, oh gosh, this is boring. And I hope those of you who find that at least can celebrate with me that I feel so much better, and it's going so much better than maybe I thought it was going to. We have a milestone this week, and there will be a dinner out for that, and it's going to include dessert, I'm sure, and the reason is we're going to be celebrating our 11th wedding anniversary. So that is kind of our happy place for the week. Yeah. Yep. Who would have known at 50 to meet somebody that 11 years into it you could say there's never been an argument. Well, there's been discussions, but there's not been arguments. There's never been a crossword. There's only ever been contentment, a feeling of safety and comfort and love. Yeah, sometimes we're blessed with relationships like that. I know some of you have that. I'm not saying it's not possible, but for me to have discovered at 50, I'd be celebrating 11 years into the marriage and 12 years later into the relationship. That's the happy celebration of the week. And there's really nothing other than that to share. I have some tiny moments to put at the end of this. They were actually taken, I think, over the last week. I don't even remember if they were sunny or rainy days. We are finally at the end, after tomorrow, of what appeared to be, although it's not something normal for us, the rainy season here by the bay. It has rained constantly. The world is greener than I think I have ever seen it living here, or living even in this state when we lived up north in our old house. Everything's been clean and well washed and just gorgeous, almost like a tropical kind of feeling. Everything fresh washed at least once a day. But then we have had some sunny days. I don't know if I've taken pictures in both or one or the other, because I haven't been on my camera in a few days. I kind of disconnected from even carrying the camera for a while. Not a permanent thing, just kind of where I needed to be. Very present, mindful to my life and the moments of my life. Oh, I'm not taking a farewell from here. In fact, after this, if time permits, I want to do the Pagan Perspective video for last week. Not this week, but last week, on initiation. That was an interesting one for me to stop and consider what I even wanted to share publicly about something that was so important and so private to me. I also wanted to stop and think. I didn't look at any of the Pagan Perspective videos on the topic, because I never look at those until after I've recorded mine. It's just a kind of a treat I hold for myself, or a reward for doing mine. But I've seen videos people have done on initiation over my time here on YouTube. I know I'm an odd animal for having been initiated into a traditional coven. The Gardnerian experience is certainly not common amongst the folks who are on YouTube or in most pagan communities. Oh, some, yes, but not so many of us. So mostly when I've seen comments over the years about initiation, it's been from those who've never been through the experience. And I wouldn't have had an opinion about it if I hadn't been through it. But it seems a lot of people out there do have opinions about it, even if they haven't been through it. So I really wanted to stop and think about what I wanted to bring to the pagan YouTube challenge of the week on initiation. It took me to some neat places, I gotta say. Some fun journaling for myself. That's been going on and off the last week. My initiations, my first and second degree, my relationship to those who were my initiators, and later, when others came to me as high priestess in our groups to be initiated. How my life changed and what each of those opportunities taught me. And I realized how immense the entire experience of initiation has been to me. That's because I had the opportunity for it at the hands of those who loved and respected me. And truly, within that first circle, I was reborn. Literally, my life was saved and then transformed. I don't know if I can get that kind of passion into the video I'm recording for the challenge. But I'll tell you, the thoughts that have been going around in my head have been ones of remembrance of the folks who've been through my life. Of all the initiatory experiences of my life that may or may not have been considered initiations into a tradition, life presents us with constant opportunities for initiation and re-initiations, don't you think? Of choosing who we will be, what we'll leave behind, what we choose to take forward, what we're aligned to, our allies, human and spiritual. My head's been dizzy with thoughts of initiation this past week. I don't know what of that's going to make it to the video. I keep those relatively short. It'll probably be shorter than even how much I've discussed here and now. We'll see. We'll see. Interesting topic. And I know so few of the people on YouTube that I watch have experienced it that I wonder how they will form an opinion and what they will share. That'll be interesting for me. I haven't even watched YouTube videos the last week or 2 weeks, I guess, with rare exceptions. Again, I have not felt the need. I've been through this before. Do you go through it yourselves every now and then? I have not felt the need to be in front of a screen or to be looking at a screen. I have not been interested in television, for instance, not just computer. It's like I'm having a touch of winter in the midst of summer. I feel connected to the world around me. I'm getting good energy from it when I'm in it. But I'm quick to withdraw. I'm quick to withdraw. Take a walk by myself, to sit on the porch and disengage from conversation with anyone. To be in here, to be inside, to be reading, or to be reflecting or writing. I think it's important in our lives when we're called to a specific direction that we go there and see where it's taking us. See where it's taking us. I think I have been reminded, much as I love all my online contacts, and I met Roger online, I met my soulmate Ro online, Madame Cara Luna online. I don't belittle what it brings me and will bring me again, I'm sure. But I've been reminded that I may appear to be someone who has an outgoing, extroverted personality. And that's because I love people and community. And that getting outside of myself, the releasing of myself to something greater. But I don't get my energy there. My energy comes from quiet times. I can't remember the last time the urge for quiet times has hit me in the oh so not quiet time of the year. Usually I go into the cave in the winter time. Now you don't see or hear from me very much. It's happening in May. And as June begins, one of the things I am getting lost in is nature. Just literally offering myself up to the experience of it in my walks, and union or communion, a feeling of oneness with it. That seems to be the thing that I need the most right now. It's been, in a way, a period of initiation. I'm being reborn out of this experience, transformed by it. I know this. I know this. There's my check-in. Okay, some lighthearted stuff. And also that there's been some pretty heavy, important, but brilliant, meaning light shining upon them, experiences that have been going on recently. We'll end this video with whatever I do have in my stockpile of tiny moments that I haven't shared so far. I hope all is well in your worlds too. Goodbye for now.